Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm at Surfaces 2019, and I'm in the Armstrong space, and I'm with Don Maier, the president and CEO. Don, how you doing?
Oh, it's great to see you again, Kemp. Always good to catch up with you.
It's good to catch up with you. It's been a year, actually, since we've done an interview, and since that time, big news for Armstrong. You've divested yourself from the wood business. Tell us a little bit about that strategy.
Yeah, really, we're going where the consumer is going. And we've seen a continuation of growth in resilient products, and in particular in the LVT category. So, in a hockey kind of analogy, we're skating to where the puck's going. And as such, we felt that it was appropriate for us to divest the wood business, which we got a very reasonable price for, accretive to our earnings. And that's going to allow us to take that money and invest even further in growing our resilient portfolio.
Okay, so you've got $100 million to spend now, and you're going to invest it to further strengthen your approach to the resilient market.
Yeah, we're really focused on accelerating the growth strategy that has been taking place in our resilient business, and from an outward standpoint has been offset by struggles that we had with our wood business. So freeing ourselves from that wood business is accomplishing both that focus, but is really allowing us to invest into the areas where we can grow.
Being a magazine publisher and being in the branding business, I'm not a huge fan of consolidation, so thank you for doing this. Let me just ask you, if you don't mind me being philosophical for a minute, do you think that this is maybe a new business school thinking as far as shifting from being a consolidated generalist to being more of a specialist with razor focus in one market?
Well, it certainly is for us. That's the approach we're taking. We believe for us to win that we have to bring innovation rapidly to the market and be differentiated. Having multiple other lines and mouths to feed gets in the way of driving that and being the leader, and we intend to be the leader in LVT.
Give us some numbers, if you will, and tell me, prior to this divestiture, and I know you found a great company to buy it, the same company that bought your cabinet business, but tell me a little bit about what Armstrong looked like as far as the mix between resilient and wood, and then yet where your profitability came from.
Yeah, so in 2017, the wood segment accounted for about 40% of our total sales. However, it only represented 10% of our earnings. The metric you don't talk about a whole lot was it was consuming probably 80% of my time as we really tried to figure out how to maximize that business. And obviously, if I'm spending 80% of my time there, you can imagine where the rest of the organization was as well. So in addition to the financial benefits of being able to invest into the resilient business with this sale, we as well are freeing up a tremendous amount of bandwidth within the organization, again, accelerating those growth strategies.
Okay, so tell me what the portfolio looks like in the resilient category. I mean, I know several years ago, you bought Mannington's VCT business, and you obviously are flexible LVT, you got rigid LVT. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, so I think we have a very complete line of resilient products, obviously spanning both commercial applications, residential applications, and then kind of that middle ground of Main Street, where the two mix together. We are very excited to be debuting Diamond 10 technology on our VCT product category here, which is obviously the largest share of square footage installed commercially every year. So we're very excited about that. The key benefit, Kemp, on that is it reduces the cost of ownership by 40% over a 10-year life of that floor. And that actually puts us in a position where we're less expensive than stained concrete, which has been kind of the emerging category that has been cannibalizing us there.
The problem with VCT in the past has been it was an inexpensive floor to install up front, but yet the maintenance profile was outrageous. So you're fixing that.
That's correct. By putting the Diamond 10 on, it's extending that time from when an initial polishing needs to take place, and that polishing is done much quicker as well. So it's a win-win for the end users. If you look then at, certainly a full offering of LVT in our product line as you walk through our booth, starting out with our American Personalities 12, which is a phenomenal domestically produced LVT product in our Stillwater, Oklahoma LVT plant. You move up the line then to our Vivero, which is the Thomas Armstrong line that we launched a few years ago in Lancaster, and certainly have been putting a tremendous amount of effort into the rigid core and prism product categories. So We have a full offering that really spans the entire price continuum. The designs and the performance of our products, I believe, are second to none.
So the next question, obviously, is, especially in light of the threat of all these Chinese tariffs and everything, is I know your end game, your goal is to make most of what you sell in the United States. Where do you stand on that strategy?
Well, today, most everything we sell, we do make in the USA, and that's a key piece that we're highlighting in the booth as well. With the exception of Prism and our rigid core product, all of those, everything in the booth is made in America. As it relates to the tariffs, we believe if those continue and the incremental 15% is implemented April 1, as the government has announced, that overnight changes the value proposition of our existing products that we manufacture in the USA, as well as obviously increasing the value of all of the LVT products that we produce here.
Sounds like you got a new market focus. How are your customers accepting these changes?
The response across all stakeholders has been extremely positive, whether it's the investment community, our distributors, or our retailers. They're excited about our focus and looking forward to the continued drive of innovation in our new product offerings.
I'm curious, the mix of commercial to residential now with the new AFI focused on resilient, how does that shake out?
Yeah, so most of the wood business was residentially oriented. So by removing a large portion of our overall sales, we changed our mix from being 40% commercial, 60% residential to flipping that actually. We're now 60% commercial. That's in no way a signal of exiting or getting away from the residential side. In fact, just the opposite. A lot of our innovation and technology in Resilient is geared towards the residential side, but it's just how the math works out.
So I'm sure you're publicly traded and you probably can't answer this question, but you've got $100 million to spend. You're probably going to focus most of that on enhancing your manufacturing, right?
So what we've told everybody is we're holding on to that cash and we're using it to accelerate our growth strategies, and I think that would include organic and inorganic activities. And certainly I think we have a lot of opportunities to put that money at work. If for some reason we can't, we've also said that we're not opposed to returning it to our shareholders.
All right, Don, it's great to catch up with you, and congratulations on this move. Again, been talking to Don Maier, the president and CEO of Armstrong, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.